Hello, this is going to be the gimp tutorial for Nicholas Barrage. Um, it is currently 1:10 a.m. and I've told Nick that I am going now. However, little did he know that I was actually making a gimp tutorial video. So, what you see here is more or less a custom interface for GIMP that I made, which I've gotten used to. I could tell you how to do this, but you can see everything you see here should be available to you on your screen. So when you want to make a new photo or image, you go File, New, and then it comes up with a window where you can set the size. So currently by default it's 1920 by 1080, which is a regular sized image. Now this is a blank screen at the moment. So there are a whole bunch of tools up here in the top left. Basically I don't normally use most of these, but sometimes I like to mess around with some of these, like the smudge tool sometimes, but I mostly just use the select tools, the scale tool, rotate, erase tool. I'll talk about all of these soon. The way that GIMP works is that it's kinda finicky sometimes, like where you wouldn't expect it to do something the way you want it to do. But anyway, I'll just go ahead and explain all of these tools in the top left, which is what you'll be doing to edit all your photos. So the first one, the rectangle select tool, is basically you just click and drag and then it'll select an area of your screen. And let's say I want to copy that, so Control C and then Control V, and then that'll make the selected area into a thing, right? You don't need to worry about that at the moment. Circle tool, similarly, it'll make an oval shape. Ellipse select tool, not an oval, but basically you can just do whatever you want. Now, by using any of these, you can select a perfect square by holding the shift button. Yeah, by holding the shift button, it'll make a perfect square. And by holding the shift button with the circle tool, the ellipse tool, it'll make a perfect circle. Pretty easy. So this one is the free select tool. So basically you can make a custom selection area using this tool. Now you can click at certain points to make straight lines, or you can press and hold to draw an area where you want to select. So let's say I wanted to make a custom selection, maybe do like straight lines, and then maybe draw like a custom like squiggly line like that, and then end it off. And basically you can just copy paste that, and that'll be what it looks like. Okay, moving on. We've got the wand tool. So the wand tool basically selects the area around a given color, right? Don't mind me, man, this is so weird. Okay, so we've got this white area over here, right? When I use the wand tool to select something, it'll go ahead and try its best to select the area around the white. Now if you turn down the threshold to say 0, it'll select less of the extra stuff, and if I put the threshold up a bit, it'll end up selecting more. So if I wanted to select this like middle area, maybe I'd have about this much threshold, and then just select the middle. I don't know what else you'd use that for. So we've got the next tool, which is the color tool. This let me just delete this. Okay, so this is select by color tool, right? So if I went ahead and drew a whole bunch of red dots on this, not the paint tool. If I went ahead and drew a whole bunch of dots on the screen, and I go select by color tool, when I click on the red part, it'll select all of the red parts on the screen. So if I go ahead and copy paste this, it's selected all the red parts within the photo. This tool I never use. I don't know how to use it, and I wouldn't be able to tell you. This one I wouldn't be able to tell you either. However, this one, the paths tool, you can use it to make curvy selections for whatever reason, and you can do stuff like this where you select a curve, and then you do this and just do random stuff like that. Press enter, where it'll select the part that you've done. To deselect anything, what I usually do is I press the rectangle tool or the R and just click in a random area, and that'll just left click, not like hold and click, because that'll select that area. But I just normally click, like just one tap, and then it should get rid of the selection that you've got. The color picker tool, so let's say I got 5 different colors here, right? So the color picker tool is basically, it copies the color that you select. So now I've got green, and now I've got blue and pink, etc., etc., right? So that's basically what that does. Just one thing to keep in mind, the color picker tool only works on the layer that it's that is currently selected. So if I were to make a new layer here and try to use the color picker tool, it won't actually give me the color. I need to select the layer that I want to copy the color from, and then click on whatever color I want. And yep, that's it. Basically the zoom tool basically zooms in your image, and if you press Control, it'll zoom out, and normally it'll just zoom in. Let me just do that. Okay. You can also zoom in by holding Control and using your scroll wheel, and you can move around the screen by pressing and holding the middle mouse button. If you press Control and the middle mouse button at the same time, moving up will zoom in, and moving down will zoom out, basically. So basically what I do is I just go Control and scroll wheel to zoom in and out, and I use the middle mouse button to move around like this. And next tool is the move tool. So the move tool basically moves everything on a layer to the location that you want, basically. So if I were to make like text here, let's make that black, and I would just select this layer and use the move tool, I can move that text around like this and just do whatever. Next I've got the rotate tool. I'm only explaining the ones that I use because I don't really know how to use any of these other ones. But here's the rotate tool. When you click on the layer that you want to rotate, it'll pick the whole thing, and basically what you can do is like click and drag, or alternatively you can put in an actual number here, so like 60 degrees, or you can use the slider bar, anything really. And basically what this does is moves it from left to right and up and down, and that'll change the center of rotation. So if you want the rotation to be on the edge, you can make it do that, or if you want it to be on like the corner, you can do this as well. Next one is the scale. This one scales the image. I might just bring in a sample photo. How you bring images into GIMP, by the way, is you can either go file, and then open as layers, or you can just simply click and drag into the thing, which I normally do. So when using the scale tool, you gotta have the layer you want to scale. And so basically if I have the bottom layer selected, I can't scale the Nick one even though I'm clicking there. But if I click onto here and click scale, I can basically change it however I want. Now if I wanted the dimensions to stay the same, there's like this little chain here, and when you click that, it'll become joined together, and basically no matter what I do, it'll always stay within the same like resolution kind of thing. Okay. Next thing we've got here is the shear tool. So basically this makes our image like look diagonal kind of thing. You're basically bending it left and right. That one's fairly simple. The perspective tool is similar to the shear tool, but you can like customize it with like the four corners of the image. So I can make Nick look really fat with like a small head or something like that. Okay, so this one, the flip tool, basically makes it go left and right. Under the tool options here, you can make it go vertical, so I can make it turn it upside down or not. Yeah, so basically you can make it go upside down and right side up, or you can go horizontal, left and right. Next is the text tool. So basically you click on that, and then you click on the thing. You can set the color here and just start typing whatever you want. So the thing with GIMP is that it resets to this color when you're typing a new message. So if I wanted to say like weeb, I'll get rid of the A. You do that, and basically you can move that wherever you want, and it'll automatically create a new layer for you. This will be a text layer. So if I wanted to say flip it horizontally, oh wait, actually, oh no, it actually did. Okay, so basically when I try to, yeah, okay, so what happened here is it's a text layer now, but when I flip it over, it becomes a regular photo layer because it can't it basically just does it. I don't know why, but in the old version that I used to use, it'll come up with a text message saying convert layer to a photo layer, and that's basically what it does. So anyway, next we've got the paint bucket tool, bucket fill tool, there you go. And basically this fills the selected area with the color, the primary color. So if I wanted to make it red, get it off my screen. What I could do here is get this color from the background and fill it in like that, and that'll look kind of like it fits in. Similarly with the gradient tool, actually I haven't finished explaining yet. So if I were to make the screen white again, when I go to select an area and use the bucket tool, I can't fill in any area outside of the selected area. So when I use the fill tool, it can only be used within the selected area. And yeah, so that's it. The gradient tool can be used, you might have saw before, to do like a color over time between two colors. So if I wanted to do like say a blue, like that maybe, you could make it like two different colors like over time. There are different there are different kinds of gradient modes, which you can see here. If I were to do bilinear, if I were to do bilinear, I'll just make the colors more different so you can see it easier. So basically what bilinear does is that in the middle it'll be the primary color and the outsides will be the secondary color. So next one is radial. This one makes like a circle in the middle, like going outwards, or like you can see that there. Square is kind of similar, but it's more of a boxy shape. Anyway, I don't use any of these other ones. I only really use the linear shape, is what it's called. So next we've got the pen tool, the pencil tool, I mean. So basically what this does is it draws the color that you have selected. If I were to make a new layer here and put it on the top, make a new layer. Don't worry about layers now. This is only the first tutorial. We're only talking about all the tools that we've got. But anyway, so here we have the pencil tool, and we can draw all over the thing. And down here you can set the size of the brush. So if I wanted to draw smaller, or maybe if I wanted to draw like a giant circle, you could do that as well. Normally I keep it around like 5 if I'm like doing something precise, or like 10. 20 is usually a bit large to draw with, but yeah, that's basically all I use here. I don't really use any of this aspect ratio or angle or any of that other stuff. And yeah, so similarly to the pencil tool, the brush tool will also let you draw on the screen. But if you notice, if I make the thing bigger here, you'll notice that it's like it kind of blurs it out. It like it tries to make it like, I don't know, like blend in with the background. So over time it turns transparent, whereas with the pencil it just straight out draws in the circle area, where the paintbrush tool will just try to make it transparent. It'll try to make it transparent over time. And yeah, that's it. The erase tool, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Okay, hold on. The erase tool, as you might expect, will just rub everything out. If you want it to make, so the current mode is the same to like the paintbrush tool. If you wanted to make it like the pencil tool, you click on this and where it says hot edge, and it'll just straight up erase everything within the circle. So, man, this is a little, like, the control scheme of this is a little weird. But anyway, I can just go ahead and erase everything that I drew before. And that's about it. So this tool is the airbrush tool, and it's like kind of similar to the paintbrush tool in the way that it's transparent, but it's just a lot less harsh. Like it just tries to add a little bit of the color of over how many times you do it. And none of these other tools I really use other than like, okay, let's look at the smudge tool then. So the smudge tool will basically be your kind of like, I wanted to distort this image by making Nick smile some more. And there you go, Nick has a big smile. Or if like the burn tool will make the image brighter, and if you hold Control, it'll make the image darker. This is the burn tool, by the way, in case. Yep. And the blur tool won't do much to this image, but you can just experiment with that. So those are all the tools in GIMP, at least in this window, and all the tools that I use basically. And yeah, that'll be the end of this tutorial. I'll see you next time. Actually, before I go, I want to give you some homework, like you said. I want you to try to make a, I don't know, like a text meme. Something similar to, something like this. Useful, this one. This image here. So something like this, where you've got like a couple images and then just some text, which should be fairly easy using the text tool and the move tool to move things around. And yeah, so that's your homework. Bye.